As the conflict in Ukraine continues, many cultural institutions and artists abroad have used their platforms to show solidarity with Ukrainians, calling out the Russian invasion of the country at high-profile award ceremonies and cancelling Russian performances and productions in cities like Paris, New York and London. And for Ukrainians, life and work has been put on hold. The country's participation in the upcoming Venice Biennale is currently hanging in the balance as artist Pavlo Makov is sheltering in Kharkiv, unable to continue preparing his installation for the Ukrainian pavilion. Now, Pavlov joins us on the line to tell us more. Hi, and thanks for being with us. First, can you just tell us about where you are and how things are there?
Well, I'm in Kharkiv. This is the second big city of Ukraine, only 25 kilometers away from the Russian border, and there's quite a big battlefields all around the city, and the city is regularly bombed, unfortunately, regularly and very severely bombed by the Russian troops. Just today morning, they put the bomb from the aircraft right in the center of the city. We are very close in the shelter. They wanted to destroy the main house for the main administration house, of the region, not of the city, not the municipality, but the administration house of the city. So they didn't succeed to destroy the house, but of course there was a huge explosion and some people were killed.
Now, we're very glad that you're staying safe, of course, given those tense circumstances.
More or less safe, yeah. More or less safe.
And I know that for everyone there, life has ground to a halt, work has ground to a halt. You were preparing your contribution to this year's Biennale, which opens in late April in Venice. How likely is it that you'll be able to participate?
This is my project, but the project is run also by three curators. This is Maria Lenko, Elizaveta German, and Boris Filoyenko. And as far as I know, Maria Lenko managed the second day of the war, put the core, the heart of the project, this is 78 bronze funnels for the fountain, into her car, and she's now in Poland. And I think we will participate. The fact that I will be in Venice is, I'm very much doubt.
And indeed, having explained a little about that project, I believe that the artwork makes reference to your 1995 piece, which reflects on post-Soviet society. How does it feel 30 years on, thinking about what's changed in that time period?
This fountain it was kind of my reaction towards the absence of vitality in the society in the middle of the 90s, which was here, and it was really post-Soviet situation. But during these 27 years, the life has been seriously changed here, positively changed in Ukraine in a good way. And then all of a sudden, the situation in the world, from my point of view, has been changing rapidly in the last 10 years, extremely rapidly, and it was basically changing into the direction of exhaustion. Not just from point of view of exhaustion of nature, exhaustion of surroundings. It was also about exhaustion of our kind of mental situation, because we now are living in the world of fake politics, fake news, fake food, fake clothes. People are buying clothes only to show them on the internet. I'm a little bit even angry about this. We are in war for 8 years. We already lost before the February 24. We lost already 15,000 soldiers, boys and girls on our front, and it's the best part of the nation. And somehow, only with this big war, somehow everybody woke up, oh my God, when they realized that basically this war concerns also to Europe and the United States, basically to the Western world, to the world of so-called democracy.
Indeed, you mentioned the beginning of the conflict there in Crimea, specifically in 2014, and I believe at the time you sold artwork donating the funds of that to the Ukrainian defense efforts. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, but this was a normal practice, from time to time, once or twice a year, we were making, not artists, but, the organizers, the volunteers who were organizing charity auctions, and the money was going to the army or was going to the military medical system, for example. As an example, I can give you one. It was in Kharkov, I think 3 years ago, when the paramedics from the front, they came and they wanted to reach about $5,000 from selling art to get some new equipment to the car. And in one evening, this auction, it was sold for $50,000, and they could buy another second new car, medical car for them, to help people on the front. So that was kind of, and it happened just once or twice in Kyiv, in Kharkiv, in Lviv, and different, not just only in Kharkiv, in some different places in Ukraine.
In recent days, we've seen hundreds of thousands of people trying to flee Ukraine, crossing the border into neighbouring countries in search of safety. However, some, like yourself, have decided to stay. Another artist who we've spoken to is Christina Soloi, who's a well-known folk singer. She released a song entitled I Bring Peace in the early hours of the war, and she told us more about what's at stake for her from her home in Lviv in the west of Ukraine.
I'm Christina Soloi from Ukraine. I'm a Ukrainian singer, and in my country there is a war. Russians is killing us.
Шукали себе, мама, пробач, у погоні за мріями ми кохали, та зараз інші часи, і в нас нові ритуали тепер, влаштуй зброю на випадок війни.
In 19 February, when I post this video, this demo, I don't sleep at night, and we don't know about the war. We just listen Putin, Zelensky, and there is all was silent, but in my heart something broke.
Як літом підем гуляти по долу, та клята зима нам віє війну з року в рік вже по колу.
My songs and all my career, it's about Ukraine. It's about Ukraine culture.
Так сильно і ніжно вбивай мене, віддай мені муку своїми руками, моїми губами, лікуй, лікуй.
I believe in Ukrainian army, and I believe in my people. I want they stand strong and believe in victory, because they kill us, kill children, bomb my country, bomb my city, bomb my house in Kyiv. I don't know when I return to Kyiv. Maybe never. We must stand. We must stand strong.
Зброя в нас одна ціль – перемогти, перемогти, перемогти.
Christina Soloi speaking to us there from her home in Lviv. Pavlo, you said that at the beginning of this conflict you weren't planning on leaving the country. Why was that so important for you?
I'm a Ukrainian artist, and all my art was dedicated to this place. I spent 30 years here during our independence days, to promote, to speak about the problems, to speak about the life, and I was representing this country. So therefore, it will be morally impossible for me to run away from my house, because this would destroy all my previous creative life and just life as a person. I'd like to underline, if the city of Kharkiv is occupied and the Russian power, I'm still alive with my wife, and son and my mom, of course I will definitely try to leave, because I don't want to live a second under the Russian power. But until, why should I leave my home? I can't understand it.
Indeed, we have seen that spirit of resistance from many people in Ukraine, as well as significant protests from Russians opposed to this war in the streets of Moscow, St. Petersburg, and also messages of dissent from Russian artists. Now, one collective who's long been critical of the Russian government and its policies is punk band Pussy Riot, who've been speaking out about the conflict and those affected by it. Here's more from them.
I'm sad and devastated about what's going on Ukraine has become home for a lot of Russians who had to flee from Russia because they were persecuted by Putin. And I formed a lot of really intimate ties with many Ukrainian communities, artistic communities, political communities. And I'd say this is my second home. And I love Ukraine dearly.
And the question of cultural identity there is hugely relevant, very important, because, Pavlo, I believe that you have a Russian family background. You were born in St. Petersburg, but you spent most of your life in Ukraine. There has been this talk about national identity within this conflict, especially with regards to Crimea. How do you feel about it?
I'm a citizen of Ukraine. Ethnically, it's not a problem because ethnical problem, as far as I remember, was very important in Germany from 1933 to 1945. We know how it all ended, Ethnical question is not a question. Even the question of the language is not a question. Many people here in Kharkov, they speak Ukrainian with the Russian accent, but they have the same machine guns staying in the same trenches. It's absolutely, Ukraine is absolutely one country now. There is no west or east.
Indeed, no, we do understand how extremely tense the situation is there. And we would like to thank you for taking the time out to speak to us here on France 24.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
And finally, while peace is not yet on the table politically, there have been moving displays of solidarity between Ukrainian and Russian artists. In Naples, Ukrainian soprano Lyudmila Monastyrska and Russian mezzo-soprano Ekaterina Gubanova embraced each other at the end of their performance of Aida at the San Carlo Theatre, while audience members called for peace as they applauded. We'll leave you with a clip. Otherwise, you can get the latest updates on our website and our social media channels too. There's more news coming up on France 24 in just a moment.